Hello and welcome back to the Best Day of My Life So Far podcast. This is episode 3. With me is Dina Daniels.
Hello.
And Steve DeHunt. We are at the beautiful PMS showroom here in Sterling Heights. Today, I wanted to talk with Steve and Dina about the core values that they have implemented in their business and with their employees and probably families and everyone they interact with. They have just recently given them an update, really honed in on them, chose new ones, and I wanted to talk to them about how they arrived at what they have, and maybe you could get some useful nuggets for your business on how to really dig down and get at your core values and maybe how to implement them. Steve, why don't you start by telling us why you felt the need to update your core values and how you went about that process?
It's very, very important and you have to make it clear with everyone what your core values are, and you have to post them, right? You have to make sure that everybody knows the vision of the company so everybody is rowing in the same capacity. So that's what Dina and I are working on, is getting crystal clear about what our true core values are as we center our business around Christ. That's truly what we're doing, and we want people to know what's acceptable, what's not acceptable, and who we want to align with. I mean, if you're just looking at today and tomorrow, how are you going to grow your company? This is vital whether you're a Christian company or not a Christian company. Your core values on what you expect and how you expect to treat people and how you expect to be treated should be public. It should be known to everyone so they know what to expect. So if there's ever something that comes into play, you just go back to the core values and see if it's in alignment or not. So we actually just got done, and our old core values are right up there, which were solution task-oriented, accountability, respect, communication, and growth. And those are also in English and Spanish, because we do have a lot of Spanish speaking employees as well. So we want everything to be clear and concise for everyone. What we've done is we've refined them to be truth, accountability, respect, and growth. So we now have 4 core values that blanket what we are trying to accomplish as a company, which is advancing the kingdom of Jesus Christ, along with building a company that everyone can get behind, and a company that's going to protect and shield our people as they protect and shield the company.
Now, as you're telling me the new core values, they seem to be maybe a little bit broader, and higher level. Do you think by doing that, it becomes easier? Like you referenced, when an issue comes up, you check the core values, see if you're in alignment or not. Do you think having them be broader and kind of loftier and higher level, that it's maybe a little bit easier to apply that rubric of the core values to whatever issue that might come up?
I think that's a great question. I think that they're actually more specific, in my belief, because truth is transparency, which was one of our old ones, transparency. If you're in truth, you're in the Word, and you're also in truth, which means you're not lying. That means that you're doing things to the best of your ability. That means that you're walking in truth. We could just make it one thing, and truth is truly one of the most important things in my life, and it's the Word. It's in the Bible. That's truth. What you read is truth. So that's why I feel it's very specific. Accountability is you can narrow that down to whatever tasks you put on somebody, what they're accountable for in the business. Respect is showing not only the people that you work with, but also your clients a respect. There's a respect that we have for one another and a code of conduct. And then to be growing personally, spiritually, and monetarily, I think those are pretty specific things that we're doing. I think we're narrowing down and getting more specific, but I guess it could be looked at as being more broad. I look at that as specifically what we're looking for, and I think less is more.
Yeah, it's interesting how it can mean different things to different people, right?
Well, it can. It definitely can mean different things to different people. The thing is it's not just reciting these. and saying, okay, these are our core values. It's living these. It's applying these in our personal life, flowing into our business life. And with truth, breaking it down, as we were talking earlier, when you have truth, there's an honesty. There's a pureness to that. And that just flows into how you conduct yourself. And you know that's going to flow into your personal, and you hope, and it should, flow into your professional. And then there's the integrity. So it kind of just starts to align itself with moving in truth. And whether it's interacting with each other here. I mean, first it starts here. Mm-hmm. And then we take that, and then it flows into our clients. And when we're presenting, when they're going over projects, we're not going to sell a client something they don't need. They're going to be honest and be truthful in what they're looking at and what they're showing the client and what they're going to propose. And then it flows into the conversations with our clients when we move forward. And then when we go out to the job, it's the same thing with all of our team members here. They are going to be truthful in how they execute and facilitate the project. So truth can technically be broad, but it's not. It's really something that just keeps you walking that line. Mm-hmm. and keeping us aligned with foremost is God.
It's interesting that you're in a milestone business,
sure,
right? Where sure. Longer projects, there's the sales process and the design and collaboration, the follow-up. It almost seems like those milestones lend itself to, at every stage, you come back and you look at the core values and make sure what you're doing aligns with them. And at every stage of the season and at the end of every year, I mean, there has to be some sort of conscious effort, it seems, to bring yourself back to that rather than just get lost in the nitty-gritty of a project or the hustle and bustle of a year, of a season. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just that stepping back mentality that we talk about, to not get lost in the forest, lost in the trees, and see the big picture, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the last thing I want to do, and again, since 14 years old, right? And now I start this company at 19. For most of my life, I've done the same thing over and over and over again.
The hamster wheel.
And the last thing I mean, a few years back, it was like, I'm doing all of the same thing. I'm busy, but I'm doing it all wrong. I had right intentions, but I was doing it all wrong. I cherish this time. I'm so blessed to have this time to be able to really think and get really... we don't get as much done as we want to, but there's so many changes that happen this time of year, and I believe in the core values more so than in any business. How do you grow an organization past 4, 5, 6 people when you don't have those things out in the open? All those things are just kept to yourself. I was one of those people, and then I would get frustrated when people were acting out of the core values that I had in my head that weren't down
just locked
on
away
paper, locked away,
right.
Like they were expected to know. Well, now we have something to point to, and we need to do even better as we move forward on if we're in alignment with our core values, and whether or not the people that we hire, the people that we fire, the people that we keep aboard are that are abiding in these. That's the only way we're going to grow as a company.
Now,
I agree.
What advice would you have for either a newer company that is starting to grow, maybe has a couple crews, to use if we're in the trades example, or someone like you who is established in their career and wants to take a step back from that hamster wheel I was talking about and really get this stuff established? What advice would you have on coming up with and deciding on core values and then implementing them day to day?
Core values are behavior. Look at your behaviors. Take a really hard look and look at your strategy. So you're looking at your people, you're looking at your behaviors, you're looking at your strategy for your company, you're looking at your vision. And you're looking at how you want to present yourself and your business to who your clientele is going to be and how you want to represent yourself. I mean, you can't just say, I have these core values, but not live them.
Yay me, yeah.
Exactly, because I want to look good on paper or because I say I look good.
So true.
You have to example
true.
those behaviors every day. And sometimes, you know, you're going to have to, as your strategies change, as your company grows, you're going to have to sit back and revisit that. And they should evolve. If they don't and they're staying the same all the time, are you really growing?
Or
Probably
living
not.
them, yeah.
You know, so it's really taking a step back and observing, active listening, and watching your people, watching yourself, your own behaviors. And sometimes that's going to sting.
To look in that mirror.
Because there's some hard truths there.
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah.
we go to truth.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes truth, it's not all positive. Yeah, we have integrity, we have, you know, honesty and all of that, and that's beautiful. But then sometimes that integrity and that honesty is going to sting. And you need to take a step back, and that's how you check yourself.
Yeah.
So
Now,
it's-
was it collaborative at all? Was there a collaborative element when you came up with the current core values that you have?
The ones we had currently that were on the board, yes. I had refined them from a book that Dina had gotten me. It's really, it's funny, she got it for me like 4 or 5 months ago, and it's literally changing my life. I get up early in the morning, and I love when no one's here, because I get a few chapters in.
Well, you were reading it when I came in.
Oh yeah, I'm literally, and if I'm not there, I'm in the Word, but it allows, so back to even recap on what Dina said, it's like, you know, not only that, right, like how you show up, but you also need to pull yourself out of it. Like what she's saying essentially is, you got to watch and see, right, and then have this patience and discernment on what's going on, and if you're in alignment or not in alignment. But she's fantastic at that, where I'm getting better. I'm not bad at, I will never say I'm bad at anything. I'm a work in progress on a lot of things. Just quieting myself and stopping and thinking and feeling, and just allowing myself to be present in the moment of whatever's going on. It allows you to not make irrational decisions. And when you show people that you're irrational, they're scared of you. Nobody wants to work for somebody they're scared of. And nobody wants to really work hard for somebody they're scared of. They want to work somebody that they look at and admire. They believe in what they believe in. And you have to, again, going back to what you said, Dina, is you have to walk that walk. And we all fall short. I mean, there's times I fall short often, but it's how fast I pick myself back up and show people, hey, I'm not just preaching these things here. I'm walking these things out and doing them.
Mm-hmm. Or doing your best
I can't go
right?
around breaking all my core values and then expecting everybody else, you know, to be in alignment with them while I am way out of alignment. I'm out of alignment with my core values multiple times a day, and it's nice to be able to look up and go, whoop, I'm out again.
Yeah, whoops.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
like you said about having an irrational leader is not a leader,
No.
right? I mean, you don't want to go above and beyond for them. It turns into survival mode, into how can I make the smallest wake possible? How can I hide away and just get by? Whereas living in these core values and
The greatest leaders are servants. They serve their people. That's what they do.
yes,
is they
they do.
serve.
Yep.
Yeah.
And great
Yes.
leaders aren't feared. They serve. And they give people what they need. Not all the things they want, but it's almost nurturing like a family. You give them everything they need and some of the things they want, and most cases, you really will have a great team.
Steve, another thing I've heard you refer to recently, I'm not sure if it's from that book or not, is the idea of the noble goal. Can you give me a little overview on what exactly that is? Because I've only heard you say it, but it sounds very interesting.
So like a noble goal for most companies are going to be something where a client refers or what have you, and ours is the same. We want our clients. So our goal is to have every single client refer another potential client within 1 calendar year. But another noble goal, because we're trying to grow our business, and I'm sure the people that are tuning in are trying to do the same, is not just our clients, but our people refer someone they know that they feel would be a good fit at our company every single year, so we can not only promote from within, but we can bring people that already understand what our company is about. So if we have Alejandro bringing in one guy that isn't happy with his current work environment, or sees Alejandro go out and be that light and be the fruit and see and want to know what's different, it's because he's here, and he's here with people that are a team, people that pray together, people that love on each other and protect each other, and we look out for one another. So that's also part of our noble goal, is for our employees and coworkers to bring in people that would fit our core values, and that does our recruiting for us as we grow slow.
I mean, you're expanding your circle of influence. Your family, really, right?
Absolutely, and then that just transcends into our community. You know, the more successful we are, we share. He is so good about that. I mean, we share with the people that we work with when we succeed, but then sharing into our community as well with charity. You know, finding those needs within the community and helping offset that. And that's a goal as well. And we have in little parts here and there. We don't make mention of it often because it's something we do here. But
yeah, it's not
not to promote. It's just something that we want to do, and we do.
Yeah. What about, how important is it that a company have a noble goal like that, no matter what it is, or how important is it that they arrive on them periodically and keep them evolving just like the core values are?
I mean, I can't imagine anybody listening, they don't have goals. I mean, absolutely they have goals. So what is, like, let's say, for instance, you're out there, you're running your 1 or 2 crews, you got a few guys working for you. What do you want to change? Well, that should be your goal. Put it on paper.
It can't just be, I want to hit 3 million.
Yeah,
I want to hit 3.5 million.
Exactly.
It can't just be.
Yeah. It can't be just a revenue target.
Because that doesn't having the goal be the goal almost doesn't get you there, right?
And the goal is bigger than yourself.
Yeah.
It's bigger than just you. It's not about just you. Your goals are going to affect people. They're going to impact people. And you want those to be in a positive light. So what does that look like? That's on each individual to figure that out for themselves, because not only are we setting company goals as a whole, we're setting personal goals.
Right, like the noble goal of each coworker bringing in somebody each calendar year. I mean, if you want to grow your company and you have 4 people and everybody actually did that, you're double the size in 1 year. Now, we don't expect all people to fit the criteria of what we're looking for, but it's unbelievable. It puts a smile on my face because our guys know what we're looking for. They already know.
They do.
We don't even have, the people that they bring in, fill out the application and when you're ready to start now.
Yeah.
So that's like when Umberto came in.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. The people that we get are, it's not, this job and position is not for everyone. We know that, but it is a position to be a good steward, be a good servant. Our guys treat our guys and they serve our guys as we serve our foremen, and it all trickles down. But we want this place for prosperity for our people, prosperity in the Lord's word. So that's what our goals are, is to accomplish what our people are trying to do. But also to grow our business. That's part of our strategy is growth. Well, we show up, somebody, give you an example, someone breaks a piece of your equipment. I can laugh about that because it happens every day here. Somebody breaks something.
We're hard,
Literally.
we're hard on the equipment.
And everything's expensive. All of you know that. How do you approach that? Are you upset? Are you showing that you're upset? Or do you discuss it and then you move on? Because truly, if it's going to cripple you, then you're not charging enough money. I mean, breakdowns happen. They're going to happen, even having a full-time mechanic. But growth in your company, if that's something you're looking to do, put a noble goal out there to have people go out and do that headhunting for you. It's difficult to have new people come in and don't know anything about your company. You're not going to center up with many of those people, especially in the construction industry.
I think a big takeaway there is that with the noble goal, it's like if your goal is just to hire 10 people this year, you're rudderless, right? It's like, well, how do you do? It's not just. I mean, is it? I just hope it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But if your noble goal is that your staff brings in people to this orbit, I think now you have kind of a roadmap, and now everyone, like you said, is rowing the same boat. And if your goal is to hit 10 million, it's like, I don't know, you might as well just sit around and hope that you hit it. But if you want to set that noble goal to referrals, to creating an experience where every current client is so delighted that they become just a walking billboard, a walking advertisement, those revenue goals will come. Those
are
staff
just the
goals
fruits.
will come.
Yeah,
exactly.
To
You
me,
have a path with the noble goal. Is how it seems to me.
It's creating a culture.
And the fruits are not, like she said, the fruits are, you'll see the fruit.
Yeah, it's the culture.
And I think
So.
I know this is cliche to say, but I do believe it. Revenue is vanity, profit is sanity. So if you're just trying to do $10 million, you can do $10 million and lose money.
Yes.
I've done it.
Yeah.
Done it. It's terrible. It's the worst experience ever when you look at the fruits of your labor and there aren't any fruit, but it's so big. It's just one big dead tree, and eventually, the tree was restored. But I've been there.
I think that's a good place to stop there. Thank you guys again.
No, thank
As
you.
always, I hope you guys, if you're watching, own a business or are thinking about it in the future, or maybe you came away with some nuggets here. That is it for today. Why don't you go ahead and make today the best day of your life so far?
So far.
Thank you.
It's the best day of my life so far.
Yes, it is.